Hi guys, Salim from Swim Lab here. I'm going to just talk to you now about what I'm now starting to call the Swim Hex Plan. I was trying to be a bit fancy there because it's the six pointers to swimming front crawl mindfully and I wouldn't say perfectly, but with all the key elements in mind. So a lot of you who've swum with me, who've had lessons with me, either in open water, at the swim clinics in Cornwall or Italy, or even in the Endless Pool, will know about the 6-point plan to swimming front crawl. So I'm just going to run you through them now, even though most of you can't swim yet and don't have access to a pool. But I want you to have these in your head for two reasons. One, because I'm recommending that you all do a bit of visualization every week. And if you spent one or two of those visualization sessions, that means 5 minutes of thinking about swimming, you can run through this 6-point checklist as you swim and you imagine you're swimming in your head. So hopefully that makes sense. The other reason I want you to know about the 6-point plan is because I've got this crazy book exercise, swim books exercise, where you grab 2 swim books like like these 2 swim books that I just happened to have earlier, and some of you may remember this exercise that I got you to do. So that was one of my drills, my mad crazy drills, surprisingly effective in fact, of keeping your muscle memory going. But when you're doing it, I'd love it if you were thinking about the 6 things that you're supposed to be doing when you swim. So I'm going to just run through them now. The first one, and they're not in order of priority, is your head. So according to the STA handbook and what used to be called the ASA, the waterline was supposed to cut the top end of your forehead as you swam. So you kind of looked forward slightly as you swam. It's still in the handbook, but has been not necessarily disproved, but through straight line swimming and Kerry Ann Payne and a number of competitive swimmers, we all now know that swimming with our head looking down for as much of the time we actually swim as possible will make our body alignment slightly better as we swim through the water, which will translate in terms of swim efficiency and even speed. So head down, looking straight down, except when you need to sight or unless you're catching up with someone or you're doing a tumble turn. Second thing, hips. So when we swim, some of you will know I rabbit on about the gyroscopic effect of swimming. I want you to be turning from the hips, not from the shoulders, but from the hips. If you turn from the shoulders, your hips will probably follow about 60 to 65%. If you turn from the hips, your shoulders will follow 100%. That gives you the best gyroscopic effect, keeps your body as aligned as it possibly could be, and you swim faster, straighter, and more efficiently. So hips is the second one. Third thing I want you to think about when you're swimming is, are my feet just breaking the surface of the water, and are my legs close enough so that my toes occasionally touch? These are my toes, by the way. So when you're swimming, are my feet do they feel like they're breaking the surface of the water? Are my toes occasionally touching? So that's number 3, feet. Fourth thing is hands. So when your hands enter the water, we want them to enter there, shoulder width apart and fingertips first. So I want you to be thinking of 2 things when your hands enter the water. I want them to be entering far away from your body and shoulder width apart, so wide and far. We want to get away from the 1980s style of swimming, which was right over here, which everyone thought looked incredibly stylish, but as we know, makes you swim like that and is very inefficient. So swim hand entry wide and far, no overreach involved. The 5th thing is when your arms are in recovery mode, let's try and think about the back of your hand facing forward all the way through the movement. That means your arms will come out at just the right point. And also think about your hands being more or less below your elbow as they move forward. These are only suggestions and drills, but keeping them in mind will mean that you swim straighter and smoothly and more effectively. Now, as you were probably practicing that, you would have felt the catch as you brought the arm out. That's where that rotation comes in handy to make it easier to bring your arm across. So another way of putting it is fingers almost trailing the imaginary surface of the water. So that's number 5. And number 6, which is a really interesting one, is catch up. So I don't personally want you to be swimming with a 100% catch up, which is that. I want you to be swimming with an 80% catch up, which is this. Now, it's the latest thinking. A lot of swimmers out there swimming competitively in open water and in the pool are using it. And we work towards it by building 100% catch up into our drills. So think about swimming with 100% or 80% catch up when you go through this imaginary process. And when you're doing swim books, do 100% catch up with those books. So those are the 6 things: head, hips, feet, hands. I call this puppet because your hand's like a puppet going across. That's number 5. And number 6, 80% catch up, which is that. Right, guys, those are your 6 things that I want you to remember. Bear them in mind when you're visualizing, and when I see you back at the pool, keep them in your head and we'll go through them again. All right, be safe out there, guys. See you soon. Bye.